Hey guys, Tim here. Another episode of Tim's Take with Chasing Collectibles, and today we've never had him on before, but this is my buddy Derek, owner of Nerf Herder Comic Books. He's a vendor at pretty much a lot of the same shows I go to, and many more. Derek, hello.
Hey Tim, thanks for having me.
No problem. And everyone knows Chris. We've had Chris on a number of times from Beardy Weirdy.
Yep. If this was Saturday Night Live, I might need a jacket or something. I think that's what they do on there. But yeah, good to see you, Tim. Derek, good to see you. Representing both of y'all representing from South Carolina.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
So Derek, getting right into this and moving on. So you've been a vendor for quite a while.
I've been doing it for about 3 years, maybe a little bit longer than 3 years. It's been a wonderful ride.
Yeah. Have you been a collector before that, or?
I've been a collector long before that. I remember having comics when I was a little kid. My older brother used to work at a comic store, so he's the one that kind of got me into it. Then I kind of got out of it when I was a teenager, and then as an adult, got back into it.
Yeah. Any other?
Up. What's that?
Any other hobbies other than comic books that with geek fandom or anything like that?
Not really. I like watching stuff like science fiction movies and horror movies.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Because I noticed.
So Derek, real quick, Derek, your first show though ever was the Florence show, the Power Comic Con, right?
First show was right here in my hometown, Florence, Power Comic Con, about 3 years ago. I know it's 3 years ago because my wife was pregnant at the time. I actually split a table with a friend of mine. So my first show, I had half a table with mostly dollar books. I did have a few higher end books, but I pretty much started out with dollar books, and it's been building it since then.
Okay.
And Tim, you've been setting up. Y'all have been setting up at the Power Comic Con for a while now too.
Yeah, we've done 2 of them already, and just really love that show. That's one of my favorite shows for sure. It's they got a little bit of everything there, and I always come back with some kind of neat toys or especially like toys I like to collect from the 90s. A lot of Marvel toys, X-Men, Spider-Man, Hulk. Those are my big 3. You remember the stuff you used to get at
I mean, it's the Toy Biz, the 90s Marvel Toy Biz stuff. Yeah. I mean, I got a soft spot for that stuff. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the only toys I collect would be like Star Wars toys from the 70s and 80s. That's stuff that I really got into when I was a kid. Unfortunately, I think my mom sold all my stuff at a yard sale.
Boo.
It is what it is.
You know what? So much of my stuff had gone missing over the years. I really think that's what my parents did too. They tell me they don't know what happened to it, but you're talking about an entire Marvel Secret Wars play center, that I had back then. And you got the Marvel training facility and everything like that. Like I got back there. I ended up rebuying it mint in the box, which is cool. It's still never been opened.
Wow. Okay.
But I used to have one of those as a kid that I played with, and that went missing. I had a lot of my Ghostbuster figures and Thundercats, and the only thing I've managed to hold on to was my Ninja Turtles, which is really cool, especially with all the new Ninja Turtle stuff they got out now. It's really just kind of piqued my interest. Speaking of which, just throwing this out there, picked this up the other day. Really cool.
Okay. That's cool. Yeah.
NECA and Super 7 puts out some really awesome stuff. So
I mean, they've got the pulse on the nostalgia vibe in general. Yeah, they do a really good job with that stuff for sure.
yeah, yeah.
So Derek, when and I my timeline is a little rough here because I mean I've done the Power Comic Con a bunch, but do you remember the first location they had that convention at?
The very first one?
Well, it used to be behind. It wasn't a prison, but it was like right before they get released. It was like it's like SIT or something. It's like a technical school or something.
That was actually the second location. The first
Oh, okay.
like it was the very first show, and maybe the very second one was actually in an art gallery.
Oh, okay. Before my time. Okay.
Yeah, and then they moved to the SMIT building by Florence Darlington Technical College.
I like that. I like that location because when you came in, like to your right from the main entrance, there was all like the mechanical stuff. It kind of felt like a super villain lair or something. But it was weird the prison thing. The first time Josh and I did it, which might have been the first time it was over in that location, I was like, where? What is this? Like, what is going on? So, but I really like the new spot.
Yeah, I think the place you're talking about, it was like some kind of work release place.
Okay.
It wasn't an actual prison. It was just like a work release, like where prisoners would go so they could go out and pick up trash and stuff. Something like that.
Okay.
Place, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I don't know. Whatever.
It was right down from the SIN.
Yeah. But I love that show though. Yeah. Even when it was there and where it's now. But I never did it when it was at the art gallery. Yeah. What year was that, you think?
Oh man, you're asking the wrong person. I mean, I can't tell you what year, but it was a long time ago.
I got you.
I feel you, man. Let me tell you, as I get older, my memory too just starts a little bit, things become a little more blurred from, so many years back.
Yeah. Ask my wife. My memory's horrible.
Yeah. So I know one of the things I had wanted to talk about, and it's good that we have Chris on because Chris has already gotten around to a number of shows, and he's been to Heroes. How many times would you say?
Well, I mean, I started going when I was 8 years old, and since I was 8 years old, I really didn't miss one until I think it was 2012 or 2013. Because when I was in a different life, I was in a band and we were touring, and I remember we were in California while the Heroes show was going on. So I didn't go that year. I think it was 2012, maybe 2013. But me and my buddy Josh have been setting up there since 2015. So I mean, it's the biggest and best show in this area, and arguably, one of the best just on the East Coast of the entire United States. So it's
whole country.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So the first time, Josh and I, we had done some shows, but it took us, a couple years to work up the confidence, I guess, to do that show. But I mean, it's the best show. It is the show. I think it's the 41st year now. So I mean, it's older than I am. So I mean, but it's a great event. Yeah. So, but anyways, Tim, I've been going since I was 8 years old, and then setting up since around 2015. So
cool.
It's amazing. It's an amazing show.
So kudos to Shelton for hooking us up with Heroes Comic-Con, which is happening this weekend.
Yep.
So Derek, this is our first year now doing it.
Yeah. I'm like Chris. It's taking me this long to not only build up the confidence, but to build up the inventory to warrant a show of this magnitude.
Yeah. I feel you. I mean, I didn't. We were gonna do it last year, and we were kind of on the fence, and then it was even this year we were on the fence about doing it. We just really wasn't sure. It wasn't until just maybe 2 months ago that we were just like, you know what, I made the decision to just dive in. Just I was like, I think I have more than enough inventory. We've amassed quite a few books over the past few months, and it's just like, what, this is the show. So
Yeah, I mean,
and
it really is.
and I remember you, Chris, telling me I think it was last year or a few months ago, you were just like, yeah, man, Heroes, do it. Like, if you can do it, do it. That's the show.
That's what everyone's told me.
Yeah,
Do
I
it
mean,
if you can. Will not
it's all
regret.
downhill from that, and at least in the southeast for sure. There's nothing that really competes with it. The cool thing too is, I mean, there's going to be lots of good artists, a lot of good writers. I mean, CGC will be there, CBCS will be there. I mean, if you're in the scene and stuff, there's shows every weekend. We set up a shows almost every weekend, all of us. But I mean, this show is on a different scale, and not just the size, but the people that are there. So it's a good show.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money though. So I mean, we're there to sell books too. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's the whole thing. Yeah, but I
We're
mean,
gonna
it's
have a lot of. It's going to be a lot of work too.
yeah. I mean, that's the thing too is I mean, again, y'all have set up at a bunch of shows, but the load-in's a little different. And I mean, that's the thing too, is it's a 3-day show, but for us or for all the dealers, it's really a 4-day event.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot of work for everyone, including Shelton and Carla, Seth, all the people at Heroes that make this whole thing happen. If it wasn't for them, well, none of this would happen. Yeah. So
yeah.
So,
I'm very grateful for all the work that they're putting in.
right. Yeah, same here. But so Derek, tell me, is your wife, is she as patient as mine? With I've got books all over my house right now. As I'm finally just putting everything together, and I've taken the dining room table out of my dining room just so I can create like how my setup is gonna go at Heroes, with all my folding tables and my comic book wall. And it's almost as if, like, if you came over my house right now, you just like walk into my dining room and be like, wow, like I could just shop in here. Like,
Yeah, my house is the same way. My wife has been a little bit patient, but I know she's ready for me to load up everything and be gone Thursday, so she can have her house back.
yeah.
My comic room, which I'm in now, is an absolute disaster. There's books everywhere. I've been using the dining room table as well as kind of a pricing station. And then the garage, I haven't got the whole garage taken up with my mock setup. I have a mock setup of what I want my booth to look like and how I want everything set up. So when it comes time to get to the show, I already know how I want this there and this here and that there, and it'll be hopefully a little less challenging, I guess is the word I'm looking for.
Less chaotic, Derek, because
Chaotic.
this stuff can get really crazy if you're not.
Yeah.
I've seen people just kind of fall apart a little bit for a while because it's a different creature. It really is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tim. Sorry.
I've taken up part of my bedroom too. I mean, I've got books, boxes and boxes of books in my bedroom, and my wife is, she is very understanding, and she was very supportive of me when I said, I want to go for it. I want to do Heroes, but it's going to take a lot of work and some sacrifice. And she's like, yeah, do it. Like, okay, I'm going to go do it.
My wife has been very supportive as well. She knows how excited I've been for it. And the only issue has been how much money I'm having to put up front, paying for the booth. I live 2 hours away, so I can't drive back and forth every day. So I've had to get a hotel for 3 nights. And I got a hotel right there by the convention center, so it was not cheap.
Oh man.
So
Yeah.
that's been like
Derek, that's your party pad, dude. Yeah, hey,
I don't know
Derek,
how much partying we'll be happening because I'm sure I'll be wore out each night.
We all know where we're going after the show every night.
Derek's spot. But yeah, that's one thing, like with a lot of people that come to the show, even if they're comic book collectors, for a show of this size, with how much it costs and how much homework has to be put in before the fact to maximize everything. A lot of people are probably a little naive to I know I was when I was 8 years old going to the Heroes Convention. I had no idea, like, oh, you have to do this and this, and so
Yeah.
It's a lot.
So yeah, you have any extra advice or anything like that you can give us, Chris?
Be patient. Don't rush around. Don't hurt yourself because you might get a little frazzled. I mean, that's the thing is y'all have set up at a bunch of shows, again, almost every weekend. But it's just a little, get there early, be prepared, do your homework, have stuff like in your mind, which it sounds like you guys already have it conceptualized. So when you get there, because there's going to be different hurdles or like, oh, I didn't know I had to walk this far or, just whatever. So, I mean, Derek, I already know you're not bringing a trailer, but don't bring a trailer. Don't bring a trailer to load into the show because it's not going to work. It's just not going to work. You're going to get in some trouble. So you already got that worked out. But
there was no way I was bringing a trailer.
Now you have to go. Like for SC Comic Con, both of y'all have set up in Greenville before, and you get to pull into the convention center. For this one, you pull into the basement, and it's just kind of, it's in the heart of a relatively large city. So space, they're trying to maximize everything. So you go down, and it's just, I mean, y'all will see. It's it's kind of interesting to see behind the curtain because both of y'all have been to Heroes, but you're like, oh, this is where you're going. This is how you do this. So, but just do your homework, which it sounds like y'all have already done it. And I know, I mean, getting ready for something like this too. I mean, it can be stressful. You can overwork yourself. Just don't get burned out because I mean, it's a 3-day event for people coming, but it's a 4-day event for us. So just don't overwork yourself because I mean, it's game time when you're there. So
yeah.
But have fun. I guess most importantly, have fun.
I'm sure
Make some money. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Fun comes second.
Yeah.
But I think both of those kind of go hand in hand. If I'm making money, it'll be fun.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's right. And then we know, come that night when Derek says, "Hey guys, drinks are on me," that he had a really good day.
Yeah.
Hey, if I say that, it was a good day. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys want to show any kind of stuff you guys, what type of stuff you guys plan to bring or, anything a little different this year? What Derek, what do you normally like specialize in? What would you say?
I usually deal in vintage comics, silver, bronze age. Occasionally I get some golden age. Don't do modern too much. Occasionally, if it's a key, maybe. But other than that, I don't have. Out of 100% of my stock, I would say 1 or 2% might be modern, and that would be variants mostly.
Mm-hmm.
The other 98, 99% is bronze and silver age, golden age. I do slabs, but not a lot. I mostly deal with raw books. I don't have anything with me to show off. I've already priced it all and put it up to get loaded up.
Same.
Yeah, I don't really have anything right here in front of me.
Well,
But Derek, I know you're gonna have some good stuff. I know you're gonna have some good stuff for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I've picked up a lot. I've actually been preparing for this show for several weeks, maybe a couple months now. Buying stuff here, buying stuff there, whatever I can get a good deal on. You want to sell that short box of books? Okay, I'll buy it. So I have some good inventory coming. Lots of keys, lots of keys, lots of keys. So I'll probably have one of the best looking walls that I've ever had for Heroes.
And that's good. That's good because again, it's one of the biggest and the best. So
Yeah. This is one of those go big or go home. So I'm going as big as I possibly can.
And Chris, I know already, what you typically sell. I mean, I buy a lot from you. So what but
True.
tell everybody else what you normally what do you specialize?
What I like to deal in, personally, my favorite stuff is the silver and the bronze age stuff, just like Derek. Marvel mostly stuff. But for Heroes, I'm bringing plenty of keys. So if you need Amazing Spider-Man 300, I've got that. If you want an Iron Fist 14, I've got that. But I'll be bringing some vintage toys. I'll be bringing some video game stuff. Just this last weekend, I was set up at 2 events. One was a video game event, so I like dabbling in the toys and the games a little bit, but the main focus for Heroes, as it should be, is your vintage comic books because there are so many shows. Again, I've said this a bunch. There's shows almost every weekend in North or South Carolina, but this show, the Heroes Convention, has a huge focus on comic books. So you should prioritize that if you're a dealer because that should be the stuff that most everyone there is interested in and the stuff that you're going to sell. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I
Tim, what are you bringing?
I
Yeah,
typically I pretty much deal with a little bit of everything. Like I dab into a little bit of everything. I don't specialize in one thing or two things. Most of the stuff a lot of the stuff I do, it's I do dab into a lot of moderns. You got stuff like that. That's modern. We got stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a good book for sure.
Modern, stuff like that.
Absolutely. Yeah, that should sell quickly
Yeah.
with the new Spidey movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
Go.
But I also dab into some older stuff. There's always that stuff is pretty popular. That kind of stuff. So I do dab into silver and modern, not much golden age on my part. I have I like it in my personal collection, but I just I don't know. I just haven't really had the opportunity, to really get my hands on too much of it. So to sell anyway, to buy for me personally, yes. And I'll have some graded stuff, as we talked before the show. There'll be some modern graded stuff, some autograph things, lots of toys. I do like my toys, especially modern toys. I sell those quite a bit. And some pops. And that's where I'll be. I mean,
Okay.
that's what I'll do. So where would you guys, on the show floor, where you guys gonna be located?
Derek, go ahead. Go ahead.
I will be booth 2158 in the 2100 row. That'll be the place to be. That whole row is great comic vendors. So 2158, come see me.
You're gonna be between around Smashers, aren't you?
No, that's Chris. It'll be beside Smashers. I will be right in between Sam and Hey Kids Comics, and then there'll be me, and then there'll be Jacob and Time Tunnel Comics right next to me.
Okay.
So that trio of dealers.
Yeah. Those that right.
Fun.
Yeah, there's some good guys there. You know,
Yeah, both those guys, good friends.
Jacob runs a bunch of good shows too. I mean, you got Asheville, you got
Yeah.
Hickory, Morganton. Yeah.
Yep.
Tim, I'll be at 1759, booth 1759. It's the same spot that both Josh and I have had since we started doing the Heroes Convention. And so when you first come in, the escalator coming down, the main entrance, it's to the right and just a little over. It's very easy to find. And next to us will be Wayne from Smashers Comics. Since he started doing the show, we've just been in the very same spot. So yeah, I mean, come see us. Yeah, 1759.
all right, awesome.
Yeah. And Tim, where are you gonna be, dude?
Yeah, where you at, Tim?
Well, I'm going to be in booth 1569, which is once you get off the escalator, you hang right, and I believe I'm like the second row down. I'm going to be between Dave's Comics. Most of us know Dave.
Absolutely.
And
Tim, that was my first job ever. Working for Dave. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I love just, shooting the breeze with Dave. He's got a lot of good stories about, books and a little bit of everything,
Sure.
And then I'll have Nick Frank. He'll be next. He'll be on the other side of me. Noble Nastasia. And so I'll be right in between them. And I used to work for Nick. I used to buy from Dave, and then when Dave sold the shop to Nick, then I worked for Nick for a little while.
Fort Mill, South Carolina.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, we're the south side of the Carolinas.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to this weekend. I really hope that both of y'all do really well, especially since it's the first time y'all are set up. I mean, I hope that the hype, it delivers. Yeah, I hope you guys make a bunch of money. You guys plan on getting anything signed? I mean, John Romita, Junior's going to be there. Chris Claremont's going to be there.
Right now, no plans to get anything signed.
Okay. CGC will be there too. I mean, real close to that. CBCS will be there too.
I would like to get something else signed by John Romita. Punisher Warzone #1. I know it's not an expensive book, but it's just one of those covers that's just a really awesome cover that he did. And yeah,
that's a die cut cover, right? Die cut cover.
Yep.
Yep. Gotcha.
So, nice. But well, I guess with that, fellas, that's pretty much all we've got. So, everybody, thank you guys for coming on.
All right, thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, thanks, Tim. I'll be seeing all you boys on Thursday, and then anyone that's watching this, the Heroes Convention happens Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But keep in mind that the times of the show vary from day to day, so keep that in mind. They don't all start at 10 a.m. They don't all they start and end at different times, so be aware of that.
All right, thank you guys for watching.
Thanks, Tim.
Appreciate it.